Hey, it's Veronica, the Heart Dietitian. You are in for a real treat today. I'm going to walk you through how to make 3 simple but delicious lower your cholesterol soups. So each soup has some special ingredients that follow the portfolio diet, and these ingredients will help to actually lower your cholesterol naturally. So I make these soups on rotation, and it's winter time now, so I'm in the mood to get back to my soup routine, and I wanted to walk you through how to make these 3 soups in only 1 hour. So stay tuned and I'll let you know how to grab these recipes as well so
All
that you can
three of
make
these
them on your own.
recipes include carrots, so start chopping. I've set up 3 different cutting boards so I can separate the ingredients while I go. It keeps everything organized. Carrots may seem like a basic vegetable, but they aren't. The benefits of carrots extend far beyond just boosting your vision. They play a significant role in supporting heart health with a high fiber content and a good source of potassium, a mineral that plays a critical role in managing blood pressure. Next comes the onion. Same deal. All 3 recipes contain onions, so add them to the colored cutting boards accordingly. Onions are a staple ingredient in soups, not just for their distinct flavor, but also for their impressive health benefits. They're rich in antioxidants, and onions provide potent anti-inflammatory properties that can significantly benefit cardiovascular health by reducing high blood pressure and protect against blood clots, both of which are key factors in preventing heart disease and stroke. Then the celery. Only 2 soups need this, but still good to cut in bulk. And now it's time to start making the turkey, kale, and white bean soup. You can start by heating the extra virgin olive oil in a large pot over medium-high heat. Then you saute the carrots, celery, and onion for around 5 minutes, stirring often. For this recipe, I use ground turkey instead of ground beef because it is lower in saturated fat. I recommend when you're buying diced tomatoes, try to choose a can with no salt added on the front of label to keep the sodium count of the soup nice and low. Same goes for the white beans. Look for no salt added on the front of package. Even though these beans are low in sodium, I always recommend washing or rinsing beans to help with the digestion to reduce bloating and gas. When rinsing your beans, rinse them well until all the bubbles disappear. These white beans are the magical cholesterol-lowering ingredient of this recipe. They are rich in soluble fiber, a nutrient that helps eliminate cholesterol when you go to the washroom, and it's also high in plant protein, another ingredient in the portfolio diet that can help lower cholesterol. Okay, now that we went through the ingredients of the kale bean soup, it's time to add them to the pot. Let's start with the turkey and break it up as it cooks. While it's cooking, let's start the next soup, the blended red lentil soup. You'll want to saute the onions and carrots you cooked with extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil has a heat point at around 380 degrees Fahrenheit, so you don't want to cook this at high heat or it could destroy the antioxidants and heart health properties of the olive oil. Instead, I recommend cooking it at medium-high heat. Okay, now while the carrots and onions saute, go back to the turkey, kale, and white bean soup. Since the turkey is cooked, now it's time to add the white beans and the canned tomatoes. Next comes the vegetable broth. I use water for mine instead of vegetable broth to keep it low sodium. And I just add low sodium vegetable broth spices. I'll link these low sodium vegetable broth spices in the comments below if you're curious to what I use. Okay, now that that soup is done, we'll let it simmer and go back to the red lentil soup. I used dried red lentils here. I love using red lentils because you don't have to pre-soak them. So you can buy them dry, which is very inexpensive, especially with these rising grocery prices, and then just add them to the soup to cook. Then it's time to add the garlic, the low sodium tomato paste, and the Moroccan spices, and cook for about 1 minute, stirring often. A quick check to make sure my baby is still sleeping. My almost 3-year-old sleeps for around an hour each day, which is all the time I have to meal prep each week. Now you're going to deglaze with a splash of low sodium vegetable broth. or in my case, water, and scrape the bottom of the pot with a wooden spoon or spatula. Here is the low sodium vegetable broth spices again, which I'll link in the comments below. Now add the remaining broth or water and red lentils. Red lentils are the cholesterol lowering powerhouse of this meal. They are full of soluble fiber and plant protein, two key nutrients in the portfolio diet. These nutrients also aid in satiety, keeping you full longer, which also helps with weight loss. So you'll bring this to a boil, then reduce the heat, cover and simmer for around 20 to 25 minutes until everything is softened and cooked through. Finally, the last soup. It's a pressure cooker meal, so it's super duper fast to throw together. This is pressure cooker carrot ginger soup. So you're going to turn the pressure cooker to saute mode, add a splash of vegetable broth along with the onion and carrots. You'll saute them for about 3 to 4 minutes. Now it's time to add the garlic and ginger and saute it for 1 minute more. Then you'll want to turn the saute mode off, add the thyme and the rest of the vegetable broth. But this time you're going to put the lid on and set it to sealing, or press the manual and pressure cooker and cook for 5 minutes on high pressure. Once this is finished, release the pressure manually. While the steam is leaving the pressure cooker, go back to the turkey kale bean soup and add the kale. I chose pre-washed, pre-cut kale for convenience because I'm all about shortcuts, but you can buy whole and cut it yourself if you have the time. Mix the kale in well and remove the soup from the heat and then have it cool before freezing. Doesn't the final product look so great? Okay, back to the pressure cooker soup. Now that the steam's released, it's time to blend it with the immersion blender until smooth. Then it calls for milk to thicken it up. I use soy milk here since it's full of cholesterol-lowering plant protein, a milk that's actually recommended in the portfolio diet. Then for more added plant protein, I also recommend adding pumpkin seeds to the soup for some crunch. You don't have to add it here, but remember to add it when you are eating the soup to ensure that you're eating enough protein for that meal. These pumpkin seeds are full of heart-healthy fats. They have plant protein to keep you full and help with lowering cholesterol, and they're full of potassium and iron. Now finally, use that immersion blender to blend the red lentil soup. Now don't forget this final step. I have skipped it before and definitely regretted it. Once you have all the soups in some kind of freezer container, I use Ziploc bags here for convenience. They're really easy to stack. The step you don't want to skip is to make sure that you label the soups so you know what type of soup it is in a few weeks' time when you go to get it out of your freezer. And there you have it, 3 soups in 1 hour. I usually leave 1 soup out of the freezer to enjoy that week, and then I have the other 2 soups for the weeks to come. Now, to get those recipes, all you have to do is go into the comments and you'll see a download button. This will help you follow along so that you can make those 3 cholesterol lowering soups in 1 hour. I hope you enjoy. If you liked this